So a long time ago, my family was doing okay until one day, dad came home from work and told us the dreaded 5 words: I've been fired from work. At that point, all of us were speechless. Our only source of income in the house was suddenly closed. I needed money to do the things I was used to doing, so I said, I guess I'll find a job then, and I got one. That was my second time working and I needed more money, so I got a job that was more stressful than my first because I thought, yeah, I can handle it, and it pays more than my first job, so it's a win-win. There was no win for me in this situation. The job was so stressful. By the end of my first couple of days, my brother said, when you came back from work, you looked like someone that was almost dead, and I could only reply to that with a weak smile. I needed relief, so I did what a lot of others did. I turned to alcohol. Now, alcohol was a solution. See what I did there? Solution. Chemistry joke. Okay, alcohol was a solution, but it was also a problem, so I decided to search for a real solution that didn't involve wrecking my health. I had one day off in the week, which was Sunday, and I binged anime on my days off, which, weirdly enough, gave me some tips to manage the stress better, and after a while, I started to enjoy my life again. Here's what I learned from anime. I identified the cause of my stress. Well, obviously the cause of my stress was a job, but I couldn't quit, so I had to get creative. I asked myself, what can I do to make my life less miserable than it is? And I identified some things. The company gave us only one uniform and we had to wear that uniform for 6 days in the week, so I had to wash it every day. And combined with my other chores, I didn't have enough time for myself. I was also very new to the job and I often worked overtime, so I decided to make 5 copies of the uniform and leave the laundry to my day off. That saved me some time. When I watched Akira at his job, I got a huge sense of deja vu. His physical and mental health were in the shambles and there was nothing he could do about it. Akira also made me discover that I actually had it better than some other people. Sometimes he couldn't go home for days. I dealt with this by creatively making my life easier. I still had the problem of doing overtime, so I decided to manage my time efficiently. I stayed at work for hours after the closing time because I couldn't finish up early and I didn't like it, so I decided to try my best to get used to doing the job quickly. And after some time, I started closing at normal time. That reduced the stress greatly. When I watched Narumi, I could relate to her struggles. When Narumi got a job at the new place, she had the same problem I did. She couldn't do the work very quickly and she ended up doing overtime as a result. With time, she got used to the job and she closed at normal time. I became very efficient, but I decided not to overdo it. After all, one thing I learned from being in the workforce is that efficient workers get punished with more work, so I finished my work as quickly as possible. And when I was done working, I mastered the act of looking busy while doing nothing. I didn't want more work. Now that I had more free time, I decided to start taking care of myself. When I was still new to the job, I was a mess. The job sucked up my time, so I couldn't do a lot of things I used to do. I lived on fast food because I didn't have the time to fix a decent meal. I couldn't sleep properly too, so I decided to get the required hours of sleep by sleeping in the bus on the way to work. I got the required hours of sleep, but the quality of my sleep was very low, so when I was on 100, I saw the things Sakura went through and said, I can somewhat relate to that dude, but I had it easier than him. I noticed that I wasn't taking care of myself, so now that I had some free time, I decided to fix myself decent meals, walk home part of the way from work, and sleep better. I also didn't depend on my solution, also known as alcohol, as much as I used to, and I started feeling better too. I started enjoying my life more. To protect the time I struggled so hard to save from anyone else, I set boundaries. I watched an episode of Call of the Night, also called Yofukashi no Uta, and there was this lady called Kiyosumi. She felt tired because of her job and the after-work drink, so she went to Nazuna to clear the tiredness away. She met Ko instead and she paid for the massage course. When she was getting a massage from Ko, she talked with him and she remembered what it was like to be free again. She was having fun, but in the middle of it, she got a call from her boss telling her to return to the office at 2 a.m. 2 a.m. It was normal for her. Ko said her boss was crazy and he tried to stop her from going. Watching her made me think, I can't live like that, so I decided to make my boundaries clear, even though my boss tested them a couple of times. The first time, he called me on my day off to do some work from home, and I told him, I don't remember signing up for remote work. He tried to bully me, but I stood firm and he backed off. Another time, he told me to show up to work on a day off, and I said, okay, I'll show up, but you have to pay me for working on a day off. So how much are we talking about? And he said, I'm not paying you extra. And then I said, I'm not working extra too. And he backed off for good. My free time is precious to me. I'll protect it dearly. When a coworker wanted me to cover their shift, I'll tell them no. And if anyone tries to call me about something work related when I'm off work, I'll drop the call immediately. Freak them, I'm living my life. During the times I was off work, I made sure to have fun. Anytime I was off work, I watched anime, watched football matches, and played single player video games. Not multiplayer games cause they increase the stress, except you're very good at them. Anytime I played games, watched football, or watched anime, I felt very good, and they even helped me sleep better, especially slice of life anime. Have you heard the sound of rain falling in a video game? That has to be one of the most soothing sounds to ever exist. If you've heard it, you'll agree with me. Having fun really helped me, and I saw this in Overlord. The members of the guild, good, were functioning members of society who played an online game to relieve stress. Now, if you want an alternate way to relieve stress, you can hang out with your friends. I hung out with my friends once in a while, and it gave me a different kind of stress relief compared to watching anime, playing video games, and watching football. Sometimes we even did those activities together. I'd play football with the guys on some Sunday mornings in a random street or field, and the football and banter was really fun. Then Sunday afternoon, we go to a viewing center to watch a Premier League match together, and another round of banter will start. It was fun. I always look forward to the weekends. I started to do that when I watched Yurutaka and the gang hang out after they were done work during the day. They worked in the same office, so it was easy for them to set a time and place to hang out and have fun after work. They either go to a bar to drink, go to a restaurant to eat, go to buy manga or anime together, or they even go to Yurutaka's house to play video games and have fun. It was a great way to relieve stress. So these are the ways anime taught me to relieve stress, and if you're feeling stressed out in some ways, just follow these tips and they'll work. They're kinda easy to follow, and if I can do it, then you can do it. If you're looking for anime recommendations, the names of the anime will be in the description. They're really fun to watch and they help you to relieve stress, so give them a watch. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this video to someone who's stressed. Also drop a comment if there's something in the video you want to talk about, or if you like the video. Let's have a discussion over there. Remember to take care of yourself, drink water, have fun, and watch anime, and I'll see you in the next video.